Frank Skinner. Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
I'm feeling pretty Christmassy at the moment.
Good.
Yeah, it's hit me quite early.
Has it?
Yeah, but I'm loving it. I'm looking forward to that.
You've unwrapped your golden bell.
How dare you tell anyone that? Yes, I've been bought. Sarah, who works on the show, has bought us all a golden chocolate bell. So
AKA the poisoner. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that's the thought. Yeah, you couldn't get anything into a lint golden bell, surely.
She's
Maybe
good.
a syringe.
So, there is the syringe. Do you remember the man who put mercury into oranges in one of the supermarkets? Went around, he had mercury in his
No, I remember
hypodermic.
there's been a Mars bar poisoner one year, but I can't remember
The Mars bar point. How did he
I
get
was
through
a
the
fan
sealed
of.
wrapper?
I like the polonium poisoner, but that's just me.
The what?
Polonium poisoner.
What's polonium?
Oh, it's a deadly substance. It was
Yeah,
a
but
Russian spy incident.
Oh, is this the dude that did...
Yeah.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Sushi, wasn't it?
I love a bit of poison and nostalgia. What a great way to start the Christmas show. If you want to text us about anything, including poisoners, we're on 8, 12, 15. What else? I'll tell you what I'm gonna have a game. Do you know Commonwealth Roulette? Do you ever play that?
No.
Just before the Queen's speech, you all have a bet on how many times she's going to say Commonwealth.
All right.
Put your money on it. I'm going for 4 this year. I'm going for the big one.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never known her do more than 4, but 3 she'll hit on a regular basis.
Right.
She's the only person who knows that or even cares about the Commonwealth anymore, so I always look forward to it. I don't think people from the Commonwealth... I suppose we're from the Commonwealth. What do we care about it? Okay.
We sure are.
So,
Thanks, Ben Elton.
I've got a bit political. So yeah, I was driving through Waterloo the other day, which is in
Lovely.
London. Not the I don't know where the original Waterloo is, where the battle was.
Is it? I don't know.
One feels it should be France, but it probably isn't.
Yeah, I wanted to say France, but
Yeah,
I
well,
thought, is that foolhardy?
You know, it'd be one of those you think, oh, that should be, and then you'll find it's somewhere
I'll
in
bet
there.
someone will let us know.
Oh
9,
God,
12,
you
15.
can bet on that. And I saw that the girl with the dragon tattoo poster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No desire to see that whatsoever.
No,
Before you said poster, I thought you meant pedestrian.
no, I saw the girl with the dragon tattoo poster, which is a massive poster, with a lady on it who I didn't know, and Daniel Craig.
Yes.
Yeah. The blonde Bond.
And I said to the person in the car, I can't stand Daniel Craig. And they said, really, why not? And I thought, well, actually, it's a good question. Why don't I like Daniel Craig? And then I remembered that he goes out with Rachel Weisz.
He's married her.
Has he married her?
With some decorum, like they did it quite discretely. Quiet, just
You sound disapproving,
normal.
Cockerell.
No,
you
no,
and
I
your,
was-
your
I am
showbiz
approving.
lifestyle.
I am approving, it's quite the opposite, yeah.
And he... and I don't know if you remember, regular listeners might remember, she took my cleaner away. My cleaner left me because Rachel Weisz offered her extra hours.
Oh, that happened to me the other week. It was awful.
Yeah, it's...
How many hours are you doing for her now?
No, it's a terrible thing, because... and then I think what I sort of assumed that it coincided with the Daniel Craig relationship, so I just think he's messier.
Oh, right.
So as a result of his untidiness around the house, I lost my cleaner. And
I never knew this story about it.
Yeah, and I never realised how that's really hit hard. I've always thought he's a very serious character.
Yes.
And it seems to me that Rachel needs fun in her life. You know what I'm saying?
If that's the case, she's backed the wrong horse, and quite seriously, she's married him.
Yeah, she has backed the wrong guy. If I went out with her every morning, I would start the day by going, Rachel Weisz. Every morning you greet me. Every morning I would do that. And yeah, it's odd though how it's crept up on me, that dislike for him, because he hasn't really done anything right. You know, you can't
I
directly
suspect
blame
she's
him.
got her hands very full with him.
Do you think so?
He just seems like he'd
You're
be...
basing that on those photos of him in
He's-
those trunks.
No, he seems like he'd be quite particular about how his colognes are laid out.
I think, yes.
He seems the type.
Oh, but he's
Do you
got a
think he's
super neat
actually
wardrobe.
Bond? You know he's not really Bond, don't you? He's an actor.
No, but I bet he's a man who brings his gadgets home, if you know what I'm saying. I didn't even go and see him in Cowboys and Aliens, which is, I mean, that's two of my favourite things in the whole world for a film to be about, is Cowboys and Aliens, and I still didn't go because Daniel Craig. It's like if there was a film called Piccadilly and Jesus. You know, things I love. And I still didn't go then. It's sad, really.
Absolute Radio. Frank Skinner.
Creep with radio. No, it wasn't Creep with radio, it was Radiohead with Creep.
We should just say, Frank has eaten some of his chocolate bell and has got a bit of a blood sugar rush going on, so I think it's affected his
And
concentration.
It is a bit early.
I'm about to crack open the After Eight.
Oh,
It is
goodness.
After Eight.
It is
This is
after 8, yeah. They don't
affectionately
specify.
rich
There's no
show, this
PM
one.
on that box.
No,
No.
these are called After 8 Pete Doherty specials, which means you have them after 8 a.m. because you've been out partying all night, which I was. Well, not all night. Bit of Comedy Awards action. That's all you're going to hear about it.
Oh.
Frank, we've had a...
Well, the some awards last night.
Doing
Yes,
some
the Comedy
award.
Oh, that
Awards.
passed me by completely. Sorry, you were
I
saying...
like that I'm the only non-comic and I was the only one there.
Oh, you like that, do you?
Yes, I do.
You know what I like?
What?
Don't know.
Well,
Radio?
Not Daniel
Love
Craig.
radio.
You love radio.
Yeah, not Daniel Craig, no, that's quite
Frank,
right.
we were talking about who's your fave poisoner, or what's your fave form of
I
poisoning.
don't think we said who's your favourite. We said if there's anything about poisoning. That's anything who's your
Okay.
favourite poison. That could be a very strange texting indeed. Actually, I like it. Let's do it.
540. He was ex-KGB fellow Alexander Litvinenko. This is the polonium chap. Polonium B2 is a highly radioactive isotope. Merry Christmas.
Lovely. You see, he was a bit didn't he put it in sushi or something? I liked
Yes.
Was it an Albanian man who had a small ball bearing in the end of the umbrella? Do you remember that poisoning
No,
one?
that was some film you saw.
No, it was a real incident. They were
Was it?
they were walking, I think, through London, and he bodged this bloke in the leg with his umbrella.
Did he?
And the bloke thought, "Oh, that's a bit sore. That's going to scab over," and he was dead within.
Are you
However-
sure this is...
Yeah, I'm
Not-
sure that again. I bet
sounds
you.
like a John le Carré novel. or
No, I'm
something.
sure it's true. I mean,
Great.
perhaps I'm at that stage in my life where fact and fiction have merged into one. But I don't think. I'm pretty sure I'm sure that's true. I remember seeing a picture of the tiny ball bearing with holes in to do
Oh.
a time release the poison.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Very clever.
Frank, we've also had a query in. You were talking about how you'd gone off Daniel Craig. And Yvette in West Brom says, who do you loathe the most, Frank? Daniel Craig or Sir Bob?
So, Bob.
Okay. Cleared that up then.
No, what I was on about, I mean, it's not very rational, my dislike of Daniel Craig, whereas...
So Bob stole Frank's
Yeah.
popcorn in
Oh, yeah,
case
let's-
anyone is
don't bring
unaware.
that up.
Okay.
he didn't, he tried to.
Yeah, he tried
I found
to.
him off. I don't think he was off to give it to the third world, let's put it that way. But, I had Mick Hucknall was another bloke who, you know, I had no feelings about him
Yeah.
either way, and then I was sitting on the same table as him at Shelby's event, and I was singing a hymn. Do you know that one? Riches I heed not, nor man's empty praise.
No.
I sang it all the way through the Comedy Awards. It was on the telly last night. But I was singing that, and he said, "Oh, I'm thinking of using that tune in an album track, using that and messing about with it." I said, "No, you weren't." I said, "I've just sang that, and now you've had that idea." And now you're claiming it's an idea that you already had kicking about. Some may say confrontational, but it just struck me that way. And he gave me a real... well, it's hard to tell when he's giving you a sour look. But he did. He looks like... You know that game that you play on... is it Bonfire Night when you go apple docking?
Yes.
Apple bobbing. It looks like he's done that in a chip shop in the deep fat fryer.
Conversely, though, grey hair.
Red.
Frank, I too
Has he
turn...
got grey hair now?
No, I was being very unpleasant.
Oh.
Frank,
What?
I sometimes turn against a celebrity. As you know.
Yes, but I think if you've been out with them, it's all right.
No, I can't discuss that without legal representation.
Of course not.
But let's say more in everyday life, I once turned against Eric Bristow.
Oh, the crafty Cockney.
Yeah. I was at the World
For our
Darts
younger
Championships.
listeners, yeah, he's a dart player, yeah. Go
I
on.
was at the World Darts Championships in Alexandra Palace.
Were you?
Yes, I did go. I watched Phil the Power Taylor. Big fan of his, yeah. Eric Bristow, you still seem to be
You were
really...
in the World Dart. This is like Marie Antoinette having a dairy behind the Palace of Versailles, so she could be with the people. How did this occur?
I like darts sometimes.
You love the arrows, don't you? You love the arrows.
I love the arrows.
Okay, fair enough.
Few pints. The arrows.
No, what I noticed at the World Darts Championship, you can't buy 1 pint.
Oh, right.
You can't do that. I went to ask for some beer, and they just gave me this huge sort of carrier.
That's how you order at the World Darts. Can I have some beer?
They just pick a number.
It was a minimum of about 3 pints.
Oh, good.
Anyway.
Were you dating Cliff Lazarenko at the time?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, Eric Bristow was there, and I saw a man, nice chap, and he went over to him, and he wanted an autograph for his son, and Eric Bristow said, "I only sign books."
Oh.
And I thought, what? Any particular books? But he only signs copies. He won't do autographs unless you present him with a copy of his book.
Oh, right. So
And I thought,
somebody's bought
what
it.
a nasty
Yeah, yeah.
piece of work.
Basically,
Oh,
12
Eric.
quid for an autograph, isn't it?
Oh,
Exactly.
he might have just been having a bad night. If any of our listeners, by the way, have taken against celebrities for no good reason, I mean, that's a fair reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking irrational, really,
Okay.
because, I mean, the Hot Alien the thing that happened, the Hot Alien incident. Hot Alien, I mean, he might well have been telling the truth. It's like when I saw Jeff Capes on Jim Will Fix It many years ago. And someone had to make him a fried breakfast. That was their part of it. I think they had to be like his training team, his mother and daughter. And the mother made him a fried breakfast. And I remember there was a lot of bread on it, a lot of toast. He ate all that. He's a piggish man. And he ate it. And he said, well, it was all right. And I thought, oh, come on. She's on Jim Will Fix It. You're Jeff Capes. It's not like you've got a delicate taste buds about it. So to you, it's just like putting coal on a fire. Just be nice about it. And that put me off. I've been a fan of his before. Next time I saw him, I thought, I hope you drop that fridge. And to hell with the environment.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
The outside world has been calling.
Oh, has it ever?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've had a couple of texts in. We were talking about your irrational hatred of Daniel Craig.
Not hatred. I said I've just found that I've taken against him, and I did eventually work out why.
I'm glad we've clarified that, though, because I don't like the idea of broadcasting that we hate people.
No, I don't hate anyone.
You've turned against him, partly because his now wife stole your cleaner.
Well, I think completely for that reason.
So 574, I hate John McCririck, or however you spell it, they've said, with contempt, I would say.
Yeah.
Only because of his mutton chops.
Well, I think that's quite a compliment to hate him only for that. Funnily enough, I got interviewed by Kevin Bridges the other day, the Kevin Bridges, the comic, and he was talking about people he'd been excited to meet in his life, and the list was me and John McCririck. Yeah, so I feel that me and McCririck are forever joined together now in eternity.
Extraordinary Bedfellows.
Yes.
I'd call the documentary you're both currently making.
Yeah. No, it's actually a series in which we travel around the country examining beds. Carry on.
Bedfellow.
We've had some texts in as well, haven't we, Cockrell? The umbrella assassination.
Yes, ball bearing an umbrella was a Bulgarian, Georgy Markov.
Georgy Markov. Of course. I think he now presents Sky Sports News. And went out with Ant, or Deck? No, Deck.
Yeah.
That's how rumours start.
It was ricin, highly toxic, a minuscule dose is required.
Now I remember. It's all coming back to me. See, you guys thought I'd made that up.
Yes, great.
He who laughs last.
Yeah.
As I think he said when he bodged it in. What a brilliant thing to do. I mean, if you're going to poison someone, a ball bearing in the end of an umbrella, it don't get any better than that, does it?
Yeah, Sarah's making notes in the corner. That's weird.
Yes, Sarah is our resident poisoner. Who works there.
And we've also had a rather curious sighting. The curious incident of the cockerel at the Ritz, I'm going to call it, Frank.
Cockerel at the Ritz is... Yeah, that's a great... I love that. It's a sequel to Benjamin Button.
Exactly. This is from 390. I was at the Ritz the other week, and cock-a-doodle-doo, who should be bedecked in beige on the balcony, but none other than the cockerel.
In beige?
I don't think I've got any beige, but I like the idea that I'm walking about the Ritz like Hannibal Lecter at the end of the film, where he's got a Panama hat on and he's walking through crowded streets. I don't think I'm doing
Silence
that.
the cockerels. Are you saying it wasn't you?
I don't know, unless it's someone
You
that-
don't know. You must have known whether he was in the Ritz in
Oh, no, I wasn't
beige.
in the Ritz, but I think, I am sometimes in
In
posh
beige.
Park Lane bits of that there, London.
Oh, you indeed.
Yes, indeed. In my role as entertainer.
It's like Lady Chatterley's Lover, isn't it? The comedy version. The gamekeeper gets into the posh house.
It does always feel like Oliver Twist when I'm in those buildings. But no, I don't think I wear beige either. They might have just... or perhaps I am wearing beige. I am a bit colourblind. Maybe what I think is black tie is a beige suit. Who knows?
Oh, God, that's colour blindness gone through
I'm
the
off
ceiling.
charts, yeah.
Oh, man, that's very strange.
Frank, I'd also like to share, I went off Ken Hom once.
Ken Hom, the cook.
Yes.
Did you? Why? I've always
Well, I'll
quite
tell you
liked him.
why. My father used to work at the BBC, and when I was a kid, he'd take me round in the school holidays. I'd just hang out at the BBC, really. And I could chat with the Director General.
Lovely.
And I remember going round, and he said, I'll go and look. I used to look in the studios at things that were being filmed. And Ken Hom was recording. I walked in, he smashed an egg, came out with a Category C expletive.
Oh, dear.
Yes. And I went off him. It altered my opinion of him ever since.
Oh.
Yeah, you see, but mine is an irrational thing. Yours are just a list of grudges.
That is quite irrational. He's allowed to
I
swear.
think if any of us drop an egg, we're allowed to swear. Especially, I mean, Ken Hom, who values food more highly than him? That's this week's texting. Who values food more highly than Ken Hom? Ken Hom. If there are any yoga enthusiasts.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
So, Frank, we've solved the mystery of the curious incident of the cockerel at the Ritz.
The curious incident.
Yes.
Yes. We've had a text in from 932. It was probably the Ritz in Manchester. They have a balcony
Yes, they do.
and a grab a granny night, he's added.
And it was me, and I don't think of the
Great
jacket
breakfast.
as I don't think of it as beige. I think of it as like a brown leather jacket.
But as I've just pointed out,
Tan,
you've gone from
yeah.
wearing a suit at the Ritz to wearing a leather jacket in Manchester.
It does
Yeah.
feel much more real life, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel it has swung. The lens has swung back to the real world. So
tell
that
you.
was you.
I tell you what, I think I'm starting to hate John Cleese.
Oh, no.
I know, big comedy legend, but every time you see him interviewed now, it's all, oh, my wife wants money, England's not as good as it used to be, and I just think, shut up, you moaning old man. You're loaded, who cares? She was married
I
to
think
him
you'll
for
find
20
that
years.
was the Duke of Edinburgh.
I feel like I'm blaspheming speaking against John Cleese, but
Oh, it's all right.
do shut up.
Yeah.
And I did...
Again, not an irrational dislike. A rational dislike.
I used to go the other way, rather than...
I've heard that.
Rather than disliking celebs, I feel a bit embarrassed about... I used to, when he presented this morning before the shame, I used to really like John Leslie when the food came out. He'd really get stuck in, like, yeah, give us a bit of the dinner. And I thought, I like that side of him. Obviously.
No.
You've become a sort of Unity Mitford.
A what?
Figure now. Can't explain 1930s history at this time of the
There's a reference for 8, 12, 15, if ever there was.
Those who get it will enjoy it, I'm sure. Oh,
So,
what?
Frank,
Yes.
I've been coming a bit of a Roy Cropper recently.
Oh,
and you know
yes.
I don't like it when that happens.
No, when you come a cropper, no.
It's to do with the Christmas build-up. I've been experiencing what I call a few Christmas curveballs. Can I explain to you in the cockerel what that is? So it's essentially, Christmas just seems to be it's so fraught with kind of social disasters and faux pas, and I've been having a lot of them. I'd like to draw your attention to the EDG, which is the early doors gift. I hate an EDG. That's when someone calls you up and says, "Oh, should we meet on the 15th and exchange presents?"
Oh, yeah.
No. I don't want to meet on the 15th and exchange presents.
No.
Do you say
Hoping to
of
get away
January?
without giving you a present, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a call from David Baddiel. He wanted me to go around on Saturday. I know his game. Why would you ask me around the week before Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
He wants a gift. He's after a gift.
So unkind. I'm sure he just wants to see you. People get very touchy about early Christmases in general, I
Yeah,
think.
I can't
You hear
bear it.
people will say, "Can you believe I was in the supermarket? They've only got Christmas puddings
In November.
already."
Yeah.
And look, and people say it spoils it, doesn't it? Does it? Have you ever said, "Did you have a nice Christmas?" Well, to be honest, it was absolutely ruined by a box of crackers I saw in Debenhams in wait for it, November. No one's ever said that. So people do get touchy about the early things.
But there's
I've had 3 Christmas dinners already.
Have you?
Yeah, if you count a turkey and cranberry pasty from the Cornwall pasty shop
I'm not
in
sure.
Liverpool Street.
This is an insight into how Eamon Holmes lives every week.
Yes, but I love a Christmas dinner, and I've had 2 proper ones, and I hope to squeeze another one in before What I'd really like is a Christmas dinner advent calendar, where I open it every day and there's a Christmas dinner in it I have to eat before I go out. You know, it's one of the... I'm one of those people who thinks, I'm going to have, like, turkey and cranberry stuff and that on a regular basis throughout the forthcoming year.
Yeah.
And then I don't do it again until the next
They
Christmas.
do sell mince pies all year round, don't they?
But you'd never eat one, would you?
No,
out of,
nobody ever does. But I think they're there. Who's buying them?
No, because I had one at the filming of the BBC One Christmas advert, and it felt wrong.
Did it?
And that wasn't so long ago.
Did you have a Christmas jumper on? Was that
Oh,
the
God,
advert
yes.
that we've seen? Yeah,
That's the one.
Oh, nice.
You see, I worry about gifts as well, Frank, because essentially there can be a disproportionate gift exchange. I was relieved this morning. We exchanged cards. The cockerel, very plain about it. Don't do anything.
I don't do cards.
You don't-
I would have
I
done
don't do
gifts.
cards.
If I'd been warned last week that we were doing
Nothing.
gifts, I'd have done gifts, but
You
I'm
get
not bothered for
nothing from him.
cards.
No.
And in fact, a mate of mine texted me the other day saying, "What's your address, Al?" And I just haven't replied because I'm not going to send you one.
You could have texted back, I don't do cards.
Well,
Not just
all right, Dave, if you're listening, just don't bother. It's not a problem.
I imagine all the cockerels mates are called Dave.
Only about 3/4 of them.
Well, I've tried to get rid of presents. As you know, I've tried to remove presents. I don't buy my girlfriend presents. I don't buy... Yeah, and I don't want presents. I don't give presents. My manager is the one person who will not give in on it.
Really?
I said to him, let's not do presents this year, it's so hard to buy for. And he said, oh, no, I like presents. I love buying presents. I said,
No, I like presents.
and I thought, I love buying presents. Is there an in here? I said, what about receiving them? Is that as good? He said, oh, I love that too. And I thought, it's worth a try. And so we in the end, he bought me... I'll tell you after.
Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
We've had a good text in the festive season from 754. Can I please have guidance on the appropriateness of happy versus merry in the standard Christmas greeting?
That's a good question.
That is good, yeah.
Because it always used to be merry in my youth.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally you'd get season's greetings, which I've always been very keen on.
Nice.
Oh, that's the sort of thing your accountant sends you.
Well, no, we used to get it on the school photo. You know, when
yeah.
when the school photo comes in, the Christmas one comes in a brown cardboard frame. It used to have
Yes.
season's greetings on the front.
Right.
But then happy crept in, and I always thought, no, merry for Christmas, happy for Easter. That was always my view. Because you don't, merry Easter, I've never heard.
No, you don't get that, do you?
I don't know why that
Just
is.
don't get that.
But I think merry probably is associated with celebration, maybe even drunkenness, you know, young women lying on the pavement with their pants showing in a pool of sick and stuff like that. So I've switched to happy
I told
myself.
you I don't want to talk about last night.
But I've switched to happy as a result of that. Merry, I'm associating with Broken Britain, is what I'm saying. But whatever happened to Yuletide? I mean, that used to be occasionally
When I was
mentioned.
about 14, Frank, I tried to be... I used to say, have a cool Yule. Oh, isn't that tragic?
That's
Did you try and invent cool
Yes,
Yule?
I did. It never took off.
A friend of mine, whenever Abby Titmus was mentioned, he used to say, "And a prosperous new year."
Frank, we've also had an email in. I like an email. Hello, Mr. Skinner. This is from Faye West. Hello, Mr. Skinner.
What? Not the one who used to say, "Come up and see me sometime."
No, this is Faye.
Mae West joke.
Faye West.
I work...
I'm at my most topical this morning. I've gone from Unity Midford to Mae West. Via the belief. What is? Where
I
was
can't
he
wait
from?
till
I can't
you play
remember. Anyway, the poison.
Glimpse of Stocking. It was Alexander Litvinenko.
Of course, it was. In a way, we all were. I was thinking of Georgi Markov, but carry on.
Will you let me read this email?
I'm sorry, read it.
Hello, Mr. Skinner. I work at the Legal Ombudsman in sunny Birmingham.
The Ombudsman. What next? Will we get a text from the Conciliation Service, ACAS?
I'm hoping for Bob Crow.
I used to sing. Do you remember that Kate Bush song? Rolling the ball to me.
No.
Do you not remember it?
No.
Yeah.
I used to sing. Conciliation Service, ACAS. I don't do it anymore, and I think we've just found out why. Carry on.
Anyway, we resolve complaints about lawyers. Because we're such fans of your work, we've named one of our meeting rooms after you.
What?
We go there to be frank, basically. Our 300 hard-working staff would be delighted if you could pop in to see us and try out new comedy material, or efficiently open your room. What say you, Mr. Skinner?
Well, it's a big step.
Well, there's a PS.
Okay.
PS, one of my team has carried a guitar across London for you some years ago with his friend Gemma Cooper.
Oh, Gemma Cooper. Well, yes, I used to work with Gemma Cooper. She
Well, don't say it like we all know who it is.
No, well, I'll tell you what, Gemma Cooper gave me a burden I've had to carry for the rest of my life.
Oh, God, I hate these stories.
Is that what the tablets are about?
No, it's, she used to be an air hostess, and she told me, the passwords for when there's, trouble, for when there's danger of a crash.
Like the code words?
Yeah, the things that they have to say to each other so the passengers don't know what's going on. I won't say them because it's best not to know.
Oh, and telling a wag like you is only going to end in tears.
Yeah, what wife and girlfriend? Yeah, well, that sounds lovely, though. What an honour to have. Where is it at?
That's from Faye West. She just says sunny Birmingham, so
Okay.
I don't know the actual location.
Well, you know, it could happen. I'm not saying no. It's an honour.
There's a lot I like in this email. I like the phrase, try out your new comedy material.
Yes. Well, if ever I'm trying out new material, my first stop is always an ombudsman.
You want to do it in an office, don't you?
Yeah, some people go to a small comedy club, not Frank.
And I like the fact that that there's enough work in complaints about lawyers for 300 hard-working staff. How many complaints are
I
lawyers?
know that does make you wonder, doesn't it?
What's their complaint? I reckon it's that they spend too long at the bar, innit?
Because bar also means... That's brilliant. I think 280 of the complaints came from Conrad Murray, to be fair.
Absolute Radio. Frank Skinner.
Frank, we've had a resolution.
Hold on. What I have to do
Yeah.
halfway through the show is say, this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, and I'm with Alan Cochrane, and I'm with Emily Dean. I wish I had a jingle.
Hello, Mr. Radio.
I'll go on then. Sorry, Emily.
It's all right, my darling. 925 has texted in to resolve the
Good old
ongoing
English name.
heated debate about whether you say Happy Christmas or Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's poor English to use the same word twice in a sentence.
Yes.
Poor English.
I think that is a sub-editor. That makes sense, though, doesn't
Yeah,
it,
it
Frank?
does. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Yeah.
So there you go.
But you see, you can go happy and prosperous.
Oh.
Happy Christmas and prosperous New Year. Yeah.
Prosperous is good.
Oh, no, I
isn't it?
never wish people that. I don't want my friends to make money.
Yeah, I don't think it's just making money, is
Oh.
it? To prosper is to do well.
I don't know. I grew up in
Right.
the 80s. Frank, you were going to tell us, you and your manager, of
Oh,
whom I'm
yes.
very fond, exchange gifts.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the end, I just got him vouchers, which I know is always the last resort.
Where
and I
from?
felt
WH
like-
Smith?
No, I got theatre vouchers.
Oh.
But, you know, vouchers...
We both went, oh.
It's all, I mean, I love getting vouchers. Is my favourite thing. But
Really?
yeah, God, I love vouchers because to me, it's them acknowledging that my taste is superior to theirs.
That's a funny way of looking at that.
Oh, thanks very much. I'm going to use that as the trailer. That's a funny way of looking at it, isn't it? Yeah. And he bought me an enormous pocket watch.
Oh.
But I mean,
Sort of Mad Hatter's Tea Party.
I mean 2 feet across. And it's not actually for the pocket. It is to hang on the wall. But
That's what you give people when they retire, isn't
But
it?
it's got. Yeah. Do you think he's trying to tell me something? It sounds like there isn't going to be another Frank Skinner's opinion. Yeah, so it's given me this enormous. It looks in every detail a pocket watch, except it's massive. When I hold it, I look like Jamie Cullum. So he's bought me that for the.
We did have a conversation about the pocket watch, didn't we? On air. Well, I think, and we said you should get a pocket watch and a 3-piece suit. And you were,
do you know, he's so
were like,
thoughtful,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
been
look,
listening.
This one I'd have to combine with a 3-piece suite rather than a 3-piece. It's lovely, but I do like the idea of carrying it around as if it were my watch and not referring to it. But anyway, that was so I can't. Now he's drawn me into the present thing because I didn't want to buy a present anyway. I said let's not
You're
do
sucked in
presents.
now.
And then he's won because I did vouchers and he did giant pocket watch. That's what I don't like. I don't like the competition. I just let's just forget about the present thing. And also, I like the way that in the media say you get all this stuff about some people are so materialistic now they've forgot all the lovely things about Christmas, and then there's 19 articles saying it's a high street disaster. People aren't shopping and going out. I say let's not buy any presents at all except for children.
yeah.
That's my.
I'd love an amnesty.
Yeah.
I don't
would.
think you can give children as presents anymore, though. I don't.
No. Give them a nice amnesty.
I've had a thing this week where I've noticed just the last few weeks I've started to go a bit archaic in some of the language that I'm using. I've caught myself emailing people that I'm meeting the next day and saying "see you on the morrow." That's a bit
I like
old
that.
school. Isn't
I
it?
say see you on the Steve.
See you on the Steve Morrow. Broken shoulder blade during a celebration or something. And I think I heard on Radio 4 a very posh man. You know those sort of posh people that speak as if they've had a motorcycle accident and their jaw's been pinned together.
How dare you.
They can't
Yes, I know
quite
that.
move their lips like that.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy was saying, all a bit Prince Charles-y. And he said, I was told that I had to have a party phone call, and I'd never heard the phrase "party phone call" before. Well, and I think is it a conference call? Is that what?
No.
Well, what happened to the party? Do you remember the party line?
Towing the party line.
No, not towing the party line, but sometimes you'd have a phone, it was a party line, it was cheaper.
Yes.
And sometimes you'd pick it up and someone else would be having a comment to put it back to.
No.
Yeah, you used to share phone lines.
No.
It was,
This is from a time I've never heard of.
When we first had a phone, which I was about 15, I think, when we first got a phone, and we all gathered round it and looked at it and was terrified it might ring. My mum used to answer
Downton Abbey.
Yeah, my mum would answer the phone and go, "Hello," from about 2 feet away. And that's what you had. It was the cheap version was a party line. So I think there was maybe 2 or 3 other people who used it.
And so, with total strangers.
Total strangers. Yeah.
You'd be
So
going,
you'd pick it up, oh,
can you get off? I want to speak to Frank.
okay, well, I never spoke to them. It wasn't the Don thing to butt in.
But, Frank, a party... What is it called? A party call? That sounds like one of those 0906 numbers.
Yeah, I'm a bit
that sounds
worried.
like,
Oh, no,
I'm
this-
waiting for your call.
This is a very well to do, man. I make a party phone call. Just weird.
The whole phone world is changing. I read the other day that there's a massive drop in the amount of people who do the speaking clock thing.
Oh, yeah.
People they don't call speaking clock anymore.
No.
Time sponsored by Accurist.
You sat around there looking at him.
Everyone, there's clocks in, they got them on your phone and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's
Oh, you've
dying
got
out.
giant pocket watches knocking around.
Exactly.
I couldn't get through to dial a disc the other day.
153, one of my favourites. that.
Oh, God, I used to love
Oh,
dial a
I
disc.
loved 153.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
I did a sort of a retro, not a retro phrase, I sort of did a retro thing.
Oh.
I had to wait for someone to get me something, and I was sitting waiting, and I realised, and I don't know if I've done this before, never noticed, I realised I was actually twiddling my thumb. I didn't realise people actually did that, but I was sitting just like I am now, and they were going at it. The thumbs.
Oh, really?
Almost like they were squabbling. There was a hint of that they were playing Hungry Hippos.
All right.
And
thumb wrestling.
I thought, blimey, I'm twiddling my thumbs. It's not. So I don't know if that's still popular, but I thought that had gone
Quite
out.
retro. I said whatever this morning, and it feels
Whatever.
positively Edwardian. It's so retro now.
Is that already out of date?
Yes.
Whatever.
Well, as you know, I'm a fan of Wazza. I'm trying to bring that back into British culture.
I think the one maybe I've never let go since school was "You Are."
You are, yeah,
You do
that,
say that.
don't you?
I do
Quite
that
a lot.
I do that a lot.
You
I'll give you an example. I did. I was doing a Room 101 recently with Alice Cooper, and I showed a picture of Alice Cooper with a snake, and he said, that's an albino boa constrictor," and I said, "You are," and he looks at me confused. But it's a beautiful simplicity to "You Are," which and its variants, like "You Did" and stuff like that, which I love. I can't give it up. I can't, no, won't.
I like "I would" at the end of sarcastic sentences.
And what? Explain.
I was in a very busy tube station, and somebody had stopped dead with their luggage in like a thoroughfare, and some bloke went, "Why don't you just stop dead right in the middle of a bloody thoroughfare? I would." And I really like "I would."
Oh, okay.
And he didn't mean he would. He was being definitely sarcastic.
He'd gone into the world of irony.
Yes. I'd also quite like to bring back Gadzooks and "If I Had My Druthers," which is
what are those?
If I Had My Druthers.
Never
It's,
heard "If I Had My Druthers" before.
It's in the book To Kill a Mockingbird, and it means if I had my I'd rathers. So it's like,
Oh, do you know,
things
I
were
love
different.
that.
if I had my druthers. Yeah.
No,
So
it's good, that.
isn't it?
I'm going to start
Not
using
enough
that.
people use that.
I
if
used
I had
to
my
say,
druthers, they would.
where I grew up in the Black Country, we used to say "Waro" as a greeting.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, "Waro, am you all right?" Be like that. And I went out with someone from London, and she heard me on the phone saying, "Oh, Waro, Jeff, you all right?" And she said, "What do you?" I said, "Waro." I said, and she pointed out to me, it's actually "what ho" is what we're saying, which is
Quite
like
Robin Hood or
well, it's Lord Jeeves or something like that. And we always, "What ho, mate? Where you going?"
Your lot as well tend to say "mind how you go."
Well, there you go, yeah.
Oh, I find that old. It's a bit Dave Prowse. Rather strange for a
Green
friend
Cross
to
man.
say that to you.
There you go, yeah, I'd always say that.
So you're
Now,
on a
Frank,
party
never-
line saying "what ho." Wow.
I'm having an after eight.
Never mind all this.
And in its individual
What
black
about-
envelope.
What about
Bit of
Sir
a
Ian
goth,
Botham?
the after eight. Oh,
and
sorry.
and the Pet Detective.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I love this
that story.
because I loved Ace Ventura. So any use of the phrase "pet detective."
I love Sir Ian Beefy Botham.
He was in the greatest named theatre show ever.
Which was what?
Well, as you say, he's known as
Beefy.
But yeah, and he toured with Alun Lamb, the other England batsman.
No.
And they did a tour, a few clips, Q&A and all that. And it was called "Beef and Lamb in a Stew." Fantastic.
And Frank, I was a big fan of his autobiography, Don't Tell Kath.
Is that what it was
One
called?
you could have used,
I
maybe.
could have used that one as well, yeah. Good idea. He was, he's, I don't quite buy Ian Botham hiring a pet detective.
Do you not? Well, we should explain what's happened is there's a missing dog
Called Woody.
called Woody, who's a sprocker, a cocker meat springer,
Oh, that's what a sprocker is.
Is it? Bit of word merging.
portmanteau word. And it belongs to his son Liam, the dog.
Oh, I remember Liam, yeah. We all thought, is Liam going to be, is he going to be the next in line? Didn't happen.
No. But there's a £5,000 reward, and they've called in this detective. Now, why? Yes, apparently so.
Because the police have failed to find the dog, haven't they? I think-
But as I understand it, Ian Botham hasn't called in the pet detective. This is the son and his new girlfriend, isn't
Yes,
it?
his
Because
fiancée,
Ian
yeah.
Botham is the most no-nonsense. He's more no-nonsense. He makes the cockerel seem like Gokwan. He's so no-nonsense.
I do in a certain light.
Yeah, but he says... I've heard him say things like he talk about a new rule that's been brought in and they'll discuss it and he'll say, well, that's as clear as mud. He says things like that. I mean, talking of retro sayings. He's the first man I saw use a technique which I have never used myself, but I have been tempted. And that is, I saw him walking across the thoroughfare at Lord's Cricket Ground. There's loads of people about. They're all going to see Ian Botham. And he had the phone to his ear, but I'm 100% convinced he wasn't on the phone. I think it was just to get him through the crowd without being spoken to. And so, you can learn from beef.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
Meanwhile, Frank, over in Richmond, the case of the missing dog.
Yes, no...
Is it in Richmond?
Yes, I
Do you
believe
mean,
so.
do you mean Fenton?
No. Oh, it said near Richmond, so I assumed that was Richmond, but apparently that's North Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Richmond, North Yorkshire, which is William Hague's constituency.
Oh, God, that's an ideal opportunity.
No.
For the cockerel to do his William Hague.
I'm not doing a William
Go
Hague
on.
impression. I'm not
Do
gonna.
it.
Next year, cliffhanger. That'd
You
be good,
told
wouldn't it?
us you had a really good William Hague impression.
No, I said
Yeah.
I used to do a William Hague impression when he
Yeah.
was the leader, but I haven't brought it back, so it's rusty by, at least 6 years.
It's Rusty
maybe.
Lead.
Rusty Lead. Oh, I must be.
I bet Ian Botham's got a rusty lead.
Indeed, he's lost his dog.
It's not getting the use it used to.
Oh,
Wonder, who wrote the Book of Love?
good song.
I believe it was Alex Comfort.
One that wrote the Book of Love.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I like that reference.
Yeah.
Don't know that book.
It's a good
What's
one.
the Alex Comfort reference?
It's a good one.
I can't.
Think beards.
I can't because
Think
it's got the
beards.
word sex in it. I can't say it on
oh,
breakfast
I
radio.
see. Yeah.
Think beardy man.
Are you
I
not
know
going to
exactly
do your
right.
William Hague?
No,
Do
I was
it.
thinking of Beardy Man when you said Ian Botham there, and now I feel a bit... I'll tell you another thing that was slightly creepy about that Ian Botham story was that when I read it, there was a link to a dog dating website. You go, oh, that's... I was once in the park
You're not
with
that desperate, are you?
I'm not, no, my dog's been done. But I was in the park with a friend of mine, Justin, and he had his dog, and this other bloke came over, and his dog was running about with Justin's dog, and the bloke said to Justin, has she been done? And Justin went, yeah, she's been done. He went, oh, that's a shame. They'd have made nice pups together. And it was...
Get lost.
creepy! Like,
Yeah.
oh,
You
just...
can tell that Justin is one of the friends that the cockerel's made since he's been in show business. Not Dave. Dave's from the past. Justin, I imagine, is someone who the cockerel met at drama school.
Justin's a...
Is that one of his hummus friends?
He's a roly-poly northern comedian, Justin Morehouse. Called him roly-poly, that's horrible, isn't it? Why did I do that?
No, they love that. That's why they're so jolly.
Anyway, he's got a Labrador, and yeah, we've both felt a bit creepy after that.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you don't.
Oh,
wanna
what's a
start
whippet
offering your
Labrador?
dog.
A Wabrador.
No, it wouldn't have been. I can't remember what this other bloke's dog was. This creepy guy. I'm going to call him creepy guy from now on. I'm glad you said you like Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, though. I think the opening scene of that, where he's kicking the fragile box down the corridors, funny, properly funny.
What about
Love that.
What about Ace Ventura 2, the opening scene when he's on the cliffside?
Oh, I don't know, remember.
I suggest you have a reprise.
Oh, well, yeah.
Have you got the box set?
We'll get the Blockbuster card out.
Oh man, I love Jim Carrey. I love it.
Okay. Enough reviews
No,
from
that's it.
11-year-old boys.
That thing about retro phrases. I have another friend, and if I'd have said, "Oh, I love Jim Carrey," he'd have said, "Well, why don't you marry him then?" which is what he says if you say, I love anything.
I still love that. I like that. That's
Yeah,
fun.
you could say, oh, I love boiled eggs. Well, when are you married then?
Well, Ian in Wandsworth says, I found myself saying smashing last night. We won't ask what was in regards to.
Was he with Richard Keys?
Jim Bowen.
Jim Bowen, still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the text in this morning. Friend of mine works on Talk Sport, and he's killed 2 people in the last couple of months. People who he's referred to as the late somebody, and then he's had a phone call to say, actually, I'm his agent, and he's still alive. Got to be careful. I think Jim's still around, isn't he?
Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
No, Jim Bowen.
No, Jim Bowen.
They're off mistake. And what would Ace Ventura have been like if Jim Bowen had done it instead of Jim Carrey? No, he's not right, that dog. I worry about him. Anyway, let's see what that dog could have been. Yeah. They'd have finally used that speedboat.
Frank Skinner. Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
Hey, I drove to a football match last week and back again, and I was listening to what I've been listening to on my football jaunts of late. Regular listeners will know I love an audio book, and I've been listening to Catch 22 by Joseph Heller, which is brilliant. I've seen the film but never got around to the book, so I think we've had the debate before about whether you listen to the radio book, you can then say the audio book.
Yeah.
You can say you've read the book.
Oh,
Or do you have to say, oh yeah, I've heard that, it's great. And people say, what do you mean heard it? And
Yeah.
then anyway, I think it's the same as reading it, more or less, but not quite, if you know what I mean. Anyway, come CD 12, I think it was. It started jumping most horribly. So where do you want it? You're Syrian. No, there's a plane, and it's like, and I couldn't. I tried it about 3 times, couldn't fix it. So now I'm in this terrible situation where I'm near the end. I'm only 3 CDs away from the end, 4 CDs.
Only?
Yeah, but bear in mind I've listened to 12.
Wow.
And now I'm thinking, well, I'll have to get the book and then finish it by reading the book, reading the last bit. But it feels wrong to me. It feels wrong to mix mediums
Yeah.
like that. I feel like, it's the grape and the grain argument.
It is, yeah.
It's like, if you phone someone, or say the worst thing of all, if you text someone and they phone you back, and you say,
Yes.
whoa, I started this process. I choose the rules of communication.
Yeah.
It's one of my worst things. And I realise obviously it's not a rule that you can't listen to the first part of a book in an audio book and then finish it with the book. But to me, it's a personal rule. And I realise I'm quite strict on myself on those things. Like I have to stand with my weight equally balanced on both legs rather than go onto one leg. Basically, because I used to have a habit of standing in what ballet enthusiasts will know as fourth position.
Oh, yes.
And it looks quite camp on a man. And it puts quite a lot of the weight onto one leg, and the other one is kind of slightly splayed out at the side.
I think I do this.
Do you? Well, it was my natural pose.
Oh.
And then a physiotherapist said, what you're
It's
doing...
sort of contrapposto, isn't it? Yes.
I couldn't eat anything else. Just had
Too
an
many
after eight.
eights.
No, it's
In its individual black envelope. And
Looking for some voiceover work.
yeah, always. I don't actually. I don't do it. I don't sell out. I'd rather starve.
no.
Fourth position.
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah.
that's
So
contrapposto. It's classical
yeah, so-
sculpture pose. Yeah, go on.
so apparently, if you stand on one leg like that, with all the weight on one leg, you strengthen that one leg and weaken the other. I can't have that.
No.
A man who goes on walking holidays like me. So now I very consciously stand on both legs.
On both.
No, I've imposed that on myself.
You're quite into sort of self-imposed restraint, I find.
Yeah, I think it's a Catholic thing. I'll be honest with you.
No, it's good that you're a stickler for a rule. I would say special dispensation applied in the case of the audiobook, though. You were thwarted by
Yeah.
technology. It
I
was through no
was.
fault of your own.
But once I get it like drinking water, you know, I've now come to terms with the fact you've got to drink plenty of water if you want to be
Have you?
a good person. Because we came from the water, I think we have to top up. And I don't know about you, but I hate water. Water is rubbish. It's so rubbish. You can tell how rubbish water. This is my rule of thumb for water. Anything that's never been pimped out as a flavour in something else, like strawberries. You get strawberry this, strawberry mousse, strawberry chocolate, strawberry cream, all sorts of things. You know, lime all over the place. Water. Have you ever been into a ice cream parlour and they've said, right, we've got pistachio, strawberry, water. No, that's ice, isn't it, mate? No, we call it water. Who's going to have that? Nobody.
Absolute Radio. Frank Skinner.
Frank, is it wrong that I use the same scissors to wrap presents that I cut my toenails with? That is from Tony, I hasten to add. Not
Okay.
my query.
I think that's fine.
Is it?
It means that every present is, in a way, wrapped in you, because your DNA is on the seam of each join.
Yeah, I sneeze to keep the seal.
Let's leave it
on the
there,
end.
shall we? Yeah, I'm a bit relaxed with something my girlfriend points out. I'm a bit relaxed with scissors.
What do you mean?
I'll do the bacon with them.
Oh, yeah.
And then wrap a few presents.
The look of horror on the producer's face.
Yeah.
I've never seen the like.
Do my nose hair and all that. I do a lot of snipping of meat.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of the few things I can cook is a pasta. You know, so I get the pesto sauce. Then I like a bit of small sections of meat. So the scissors are an absolute godsend in that situation. What else?
266, what about watermelon, Frank?
But watermelon doesn't taste of water, is it? It's not water flavoured. Watermelon, I've had watermelon ice cream and watermelon Jelly Belly, and they're quite nice. Watermelon is a slight con, if you don't mind me saying, in that it's waterless. It ought to be called melon brackets.
I'm with you, Frank. I loathe water.
Water is one of the most...
Disgraceful.
I mean, there might be people now listening from the third world waiting
Yes.
for water who don't understand this, but that's because they've never tried Nesquik. That's my view. It's what the third world misses more than anything.
Yeah. Well,
Especially
Manchester
banana.
Center. Oh, yeah.
So, Frank, you don't like water. Where do you stand on snow?
Well, usually I stand on... No, I love snow. Oh no, I absolutely love snow. I'm very excited that there might be. I'm going on a bit of a walk with my girlfriend and sister. I really wish I'd got the Man About the House jingle to play for. But we're going on a bit of a walk, and I'm really hoping it snows. And you know,
Why?
Excellent.
so it'll be treacherous, and we'll be trapped and be on the news. Could be my only chance to meet Prince William. Once the helicopter comes over the horizon. Because my theory is he's got an extra cushion in his helicopter. That's took the top off his hair.
I hate snow, Frank.
Do you?
I'm really sorry.
Oh no, you don't.
I can't bear snow, and I hate I think for kids fine, but it's like people with a mortgage rolling around in the snow. It's weird.
That's me. That's me.
I know.
That's me a year ago.
do you lie on your back into those
I'd do
snow
that,
angel
yeah,
things?
if I was out there with my boy, and we made a snowman last year, and then
Oh,
he
I
had
love
to
a
realise that
snowman.
it had gone. Yeah.
I love a snowman. I took a picture of a snowman. Because if it starts snowing like heavy, me and my girlfriend always go out for a walk, no matter what time of the night it is, because it's always light when it's snow on the ground. But that's for a slogan. And I saw someone had built a snowman sort of climbing over this wall. It was climbing,
good.
and I thought that's brilliant. So I took a photo of it, and then I was on the One Show a couple of days later, and they were asking people, as they do on the One Show, send in photographs of your snowman, so they can hold them up, stock to card, not quite well stocked, so there's the odd bobbling going on.
Yes, I don't like that car.
So
thing.
I said, "Oh, I've got a picture of a snowman. We can use mine. A bit of intertextuality, and the guest brings one in and all that." And they said, "Oh, yeah, that's a brilliant snowman." And then when they came, they said, "I'm sorry, but when we blew it up, it had genitals." And well, I hadn't noticed. I honestly hadn't noticed. I mean, they were of snow. It wasn't It wasn't the old traditional carrot and coal, which is what I imagine a tiger's must look like. No, pardon?
This is like an old joke, isn't it? My mum used to tell me this about what's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman.
If this is going to be rude, don't give me the punchline.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you after then. It's not that rude.
Okay. No, but I honestly hadn't. No, on my iPhone picture, and even when I saw it on the night, I hadn't picked up on the on that.
It wasn't
part
one
of
show
it.
sabotage.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't extended. It was flat.
Well, maybe I might try and embrace... Frank.
Sorry.
I might try and embrace the snow this year, Frank.
Yeah, honestly, I would
Okay.
recommend it. I think I also on the series of excellence, snowmanry and snow sculpture. I heard from my inside information at the BBC that 11 of the 15 polar bears in David Attenborough's Frozen Planet were made of snow.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 2 of the others were pyjama cases. He's a scoundrel. Anyway, look, we come to the end of another year of this show. We've seen many changes, but we're still carrying on. We're on holiday over the festive period, yes. But could you tell I was reading that? Because I don't
Yeah.
often casually use the phrase "the festive period." But there
I will miss you, boys. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
But there will be a best of show on Christmas Day and on New Year's Eve, both from 10 a.m. That'll be great. It'll be like a greatest hits thing, there's nothing better at Christmas than a greatest hits. Not the weekend podcast, however, will be available, and a completely new, fresh one will be available on Wednesday morning. So this is not our complete farewell, but it's our on-air farewell. And Mark Crossley is next. As always, it's been an absolute joy. I can't tell you how much I love this show. I know some of you don't, but just shut up about it. Shut up about it. Listen to someone else, then. It's my advice. But I love it, and I love you all. So have a very, very Merry Christmas from the three of us, and a what would be a word that isn't happy for New Year? And that's lovely. Yeah,
Nice.
that's a leper going past in Golden Square. They always out this time of the year.
No, that was Emily ringing a bell.
No, that's lovely. And have a retrospective New Year. Let's see, I've come up with an adjective. So if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back in January. Ta-ra a bit.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.